So yes, let's continue this. We were last looking at this slide about what kind of analysis that we would do. So let's look at a sample questionnaire and some hypothetical results. I will show you the sample questionnaire.
Is there some kind of pan-India list today?
List of?
India's most trusted celebrities, something like that?
Nothing that I am aware of. The celebrity managers probably have their informal ways of tracking this. And
I'm sorry, what do you mean by celebrity managers?
So there are companies which act as managers for these celebrities. They sort of manage their portfolio. They talk to companies, they talk to brands, they negotiate rates based on
for ad campaigns. There was that movie, right? Jerry Maguire with Tom Cruise. I think he is not, if I'm not mistaken, he's a person who manages celebrities and maybe I'm getting a company. There are people like that. There are companies like that.
There are companies like that. Okay. So they may probably informally have notes about how the
how do they get paid? The celebrity pays them.
Yes. They will get a share of. They have got a share or.
Okay. Sure.
So yeah, I think I'll need to go back to a Word document to show you the questionnaire.
I will go there. I've got it here on the screen. I should update it for you. Is this
so
the one
this
you're
is
looking for?
Yes. So this is an example. So here we are talking about Hindi film stars, female Hindi film stars, right? If we need to find out where each of them stand, current stars, right? And we need to understand which celebrities are more prominent, which celebrities have got more salience, more publicity, more recall in the minds of consumers, and what kind of associations do each of these celebrities enjoy. So we discussed about this earlier. We have this unaided question when we talk about female Hindi film stars, which are the names you can think of. So top of mind, the first mention would be the first person would be first person that they mention would be the top of mind recall of a celebrity.
So should I answer?
Yeah, we can do that actually. Let's take current actresses so that we don't make it too broad based. Alia Bhatt. Okay. So that's the first name that comes to your mind.
Yes.
Deepika Padukone. Okay.
I'm trying to think of. I don't know if she's still acting.
Okay.
I don't know how many. I'm not very current with movies. So.
That's okay. You can mention as many as you remember. It can be 2 or 3 or 4 or how many of them?
No, I'm sorry. I can't think of anybody else.
Okay. See, so 3. Okay. Scroll down a little bit and we go to the next question.
Okay.
So we have got a list of Hindi heroines here, and this is the aided awareness.
Okay.
So we've got a list of about 11 names.
Can I answer this?
Yes. Okay, then can you highlight it as you are answering it?
Okay, sure.
So you've heard of Aishwarya Rai, you've heard of Alia Bhatt, you already said.
Should I say it again?
Normally you can.
Anushka Sharma.
Anushka Sharma.
I didn't know she's an actress. I know she's married to Virat Kohli.
Oh, you didn't know she's an actress?
No.
Okay. Interesting.
Deepika Padukone I've already mentioned. Kangana Ranaut, yes, I'm aware of Kangana Ranaut.
Okay.
Katrina Kaif. Kiara Advani. No, I'm sorry, I'm not heard. I know we mentioned this a few minutes ago. I'm sorry, I'm not heard of her.
That's okay.
But I heard of her a few minutes ago. Does that mean I can answer?
No.
No.
Because you came to know only through the class.
Oh.
So that's
Priyanka Sara Ali Khan. No. Shraddha Kapoor. No. Sonam Kapoor. Yes, I know.
okay.
That's all. Only 11.
Right, yes, only 11.
Yes, I'm aware of these.
So these are the names that you are aware of.
Yes.
So, like we had earlier seen in the brand health and other studies, what you mentioned in question number 1 and the names you mentioned in question number 2 together account for the total awareness of each personality.
Okay.
What you have answered in question number 1 as the first option would be top of mind awareness. What you had answered in question number 1 fully, that is, whether you had given 3 answers or 4 answers or 5 or 7 or 9, whatever the full list of names that you have given in question number 1 would account for unaided awareness for those personalities. So the next
photos.
So the next section is where we try to see if they recognize these
Professor, this
names
first photo is not Priyanka Chopra. I think it's wrong.
No. So the question is, we are asking them to match.
Oh.
So it will necessarily not be.
Oh,
the
like
right-
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so first person, I don't know.
You don't know. Okay.
Second person is Deepika Padukone, I know her. So
Okay.
can I type?
Yes, sure.
This person I don't know.
Okay.
This person I don't know.
Okay.
This person I'm trying to remember. Oh yes, this is Priyanka Chopra.
Okay.
This person, oh this I should have done. She looks very different. I'm not sure. I think this is Sonam Kapoor. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
If you were the respondent and I was the interviewer, if you had asked me this question, I'm not supposed to give you an answer saying yes or no. But
Right.
yeah, since this is a class.
I don't know who this is. I think this is Alia Bhatt. His photos are not so clear, Professor.
We can zoom in. Maybe
I
that
don't
would be
know.
better.
Oh yes.
Is it better now?
Yes, it is. I don't know who this is. No, I'm sorry, I don't know who this is either. I know only 3 or 4, maybe 5 names.
Okay.
1,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 names.
5 names out of the 11 names. 11
Other
photos that you
6
have.
stars, I'm not even
You're
able
not
to
even
recognize them.
You're not able to recognize. So, if you go back
So what does it mean?
into the aided awareness,
it
by
means,
the names, you are able to, by their names, you are able to say that you know of these people, right?
Anushka Sharma, I know.
8
but I
people.
could not.
You
I don't think the photo was there.
You had mentioned 8 names that you have heard of
Right.
as stars, but you could recognize the photos of only 5.
I don't think Anushka Sharma's photo was
The
there.
first photo is Anushka Sharma.
Oh. Okay, I couldn't recognize that. Okay.
Last one is Kangana Ranaut.
Oh.
Second last is Katrina Kaif.
Oh, I see. Okay. So, Professor, does it mean that I have a bad memory? What does it mean? Or does it, does it reflect on me?
No, it just means that you are not able to recognize their photos. So, if tomorrow they came on an ad campaign for a brand, you look at their face, it would probably take you some time to realize that that is that person. That's all. You have heard of them, but you are not able to easily recognize them at the first sight.
Okay.
So when we do a cumulative, when we do a weightage of different parameters for each of these stars, some of them will lose out because they have not been recalled at an needed stage. Some of them may lose out because they have not been recognized. Photos have not been recognized by consumers. Some of them may lose out because they don't stand highly on desirable parameters. So, based on that, we take a call on which celebrity is more likely to make an impact for the brand.
Okay.
So this is the next section, association. So similar to the brand health study where we had an imagery section, where we had an association section, we had a list of statements and we asked the consumers which of these statements would they relate with which brands. So instead of brands, we have got celebrities here. And the earlier example of brand health, we had statements about the products, but here the statements are more about the personalities. So what they stand for, the values they stand for, and what they are well known for. So we ask them to rate based on what their perception is. Again, there is no right or wrong answers here, right?
Professor, I
would probably say Katrina Kaif is stylish, but somebody else may not agree with me. So that's okay.
Professor, as a common man, how do I know which of these film stars is hardworking?
Again, this is not about factually whether they're really hardworking or not, but you base your perceptions on how many projects they do, how much of shooting they go for, what kind of off-site shooting they go for, how much they work on their fitness, and so again depending on which industry they are from. Like for example, you mentioned that Virat Kohli is he's very fit and hardworking, disciplined. You read
that
yes.
He is very conscious about fitness, right. But I have not read.
You have not read about this, about Hindi heroines,
Being
Bollywood
hardworking
heroines. Yeah, but normally what happens is, again this is based on perception, right? It is to the extent of knowledge that you have.
Okay.
It need not be right. It need not be the best thing. That what you're saying. So, but we are trying to measure what lay consumers think about these personalities.
Okay.
So that's when we know that whether some of these attributes are going to work for this personality or not.
Okay.
Right. So it could be that person has been very hardworking but does not enjoy a perception of a person who's very hardworking. It could be that person does a lot of community work, does a lot of social work, is concerned about, let's say different causes, let's say children's education, poor children's education or food or whatever it is. That person may be contributing a lot, but the general public is probably not aware of what that person is doing. So, therefore that person may lose out on those kind of parameters. Right? But we are trying to measure, we are trying to see where that person stands on each of these parameters.
I have one more question, Professor. It says role model.
Yes.
Should I answer from, do I think they're a role model for me? Is that how, or do I think they're a role model for, say, aspiring actresses? What should be my perspective?
No. Do you think that person is a role model for people like you?
So I would want to say that none of these are role models.
That's okay. That's fine. That doesn't matter. Yeah.
Because I don't aspire to be in movies to begin with.
That's okay. No, so you need not be that person is inspiring you to get into movies. It could be that person is working on fitness. It could be that person has got tremendous discipline with respect to their personal fitness or their everyday routine or something, which can be a role. They can be a role model for common people like us.
Okay, and there's a parameter called trustworthy. I know that Anushka Sharma is married to Virat Kohli.
That's right.
And I believe Virat Kohli is a person with some values about what kind of brands he will endorse. So in my mind, the person is married to will also have such values. Therefore, I find her trustworthy.
Okay.
I don't myself have an opinion about her,
Right.
but because she's married to Virat Kohli, I have an opinion. Is that okay?
That's okay. That's okay.
It doesn't matter how I form the opinion.
That's okay. That doesn't matter. It is only your perception. So your perception can be based on hearsay.
Okay.
Your perception can be based on your personal experience, but you might not have met these people.
Okay.
Right? Your perception could be based on just reading about them, or your perception could be based on what you think about the person they are married to, or whose brother or sister they are, or their father or uncle having such a great reputation for what they have been. So it's basically you're expecting that they also would stand for such values because they are part of their family. Right?
Understood. I think that's the last.
So this is the last section.
Yeah.
So we come to the end of the questionnaire.
Okay.
I'll go back to the presentation and we can look at some samples.
So how would you analyze these questions?
We'll look at that.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is a sample output. We've not shown charts here.
Okay.
So this is top of mind awareness, which is the first name that came to their mind when we spoke about Hindi female Bollywood stars. Okay, Aishwarya Rai 15%, Alia Bhatt 16%, Deepika Padukone 14%, Priyanka Chopra 16%, Katrina Kaif 11%. All others are less than 10%. Being mentioned as the first name that comes to their mind when we talk
How come
about
there are some others also here? We showed only 11 names.
this others can come because if you recall, the first question was open-ended. So we asked them to give any name that came to their mind.
Okay.
So they could have spoken
some
about
other
some
actors
other name which is not part of the list.
Got it.
So if you look at the unaided awareness, Aishwarya Rai goes up to 87%, Alia Bhatt 89%, Deepika Padukone 90%, Katrina Kaif 83%, Priyanka Chopra 89%. All others are less than 80.
So is it correct to say that these are the most remembered celebrities in the Hindi film star world?
Yes, today.
Today. Okay.
See, at the unaided awareness level, Sonam Kapoor has jumped from 2 to 80%. So, which means people have not mentioned her as the first name, but have mentioned in second or third or fourth.
Okay.
Right? Now, earlier there were only 5 names. There's a 6th person also who has joined the list of people whom people recall.
More than 80%.
More than 80% and above.
Okay.
So then there is total awareness, which is unaided plus aided. So that first question which we saw in the questionnaire, right, where you entered a text answer, right? So that plus the second question where we had a grid with the names mentioned and you chose saying you are aware of 1 and 3 and so on and so forth. So both these questions put together is the total awareness. So if you look at others, there is an NA because we are only looking at the 11 names that
what is NA?
Not applicable.
Not applicable.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are only looking at the 11 names because other names we had not aided them, asking them if they were aware of. So we can't measure total awareness for the other names. Okay. So at this stage, Aishwarya Rai goes up to 96%, Alia Bhatt 95%, Deepika 97%, Katrina 91%, Priyanka Chopra 95%, and Sonam Kapoor 84%. Right. Kiara Advani is 85%.
They're all quite high.
They're all quite high. 85 and above, again, now we have only 6 names.
No, there's also 87.
Oh, sorry. 7 names. Anushka Sharma also. 7 names. Sonam is 84 only. Okay. 7 out of the 11 names they recall. So we'll move forward. Okay. So what percentage of them recognize their photos correctly? For Aishwarya Rai, 97. I'm sorry.
This means 97% saw the photo and correctly said it Aishwarya Rai.
Yes, exactly.
Whereas for Sara Ali Khan, it was only 79%.
79%, correct. That's right.
Which is still very high. I mean, because I couldn't recognize most
You
of
couldn't
them. So my
recognize,
response
but-
would be the wrong recognition.
Yes,
Wrong or failed to recognize would be.
wrong or failed.
Okay.
So shall we move forward? So this is the third section that we saw in the questionnaire. Which names do they associate with each of these statements? When we talk about glamorous, we're talking about all of them are almost at the same level.
So why are they all lower for glamorous compared to stylish?
It could be based on what they may not probably want to call them glamorous. We want to call them stylish, smart.
Okay.
So yeah, you look at stylish. There is Alia Bhatt 87%, Deepika 88%, and Priyanka Chopra 87%. Anushka Sharma 85. Okay, I'm looking at the names which have got 85 and above. Behaves respectfully, Aishwarya Rai 87, Alia Bhatt 87, Anushka Sharma 86, Deepika Padukone 86, Priyanka Chopra 89, Sonam Kapoor
So
86,
86% of the sample
Hmm.
associates behaves respectfully as a parameter with Sonam Kapoor.
Yes. So when we talk about stars who behave respectfully, they are able to recall.
Okay.
You will take the call.
Yeah. Does it mean the other
able to
14% think Sonam Kapoor is not
No,
respectful?
that's not the way it works.
That's not
No.
the way it works.
It is not that, I either find that person behaving respectfully or I say that person behaves disrespectfully. That's not the way you interpret it. So 86% are associating that Sonam Kapoor is a person who behaves respectfully. That's all.
Okay. So based on these data that we have seen, out of these 11 film stars, who would you say is the strongest celebrity? Can we work out something like that?
We can work out something like that. You want to do it now?
Yes,
Sure.
indicatively.
Yes. So let's do that. So shall we give ranks for them?
Which is the most important parameter? Is trustworthy the most important parameter here?
See, this again depends on what the brand wants to, which parameter that the brand is giving a lot of weightage to. So let's again take an example. Let's say
But is
I am a
trustworthy
brand.
important for every parameter?
Yes, trustworthy
For
is
every
important.
brand, sorry.
Yes, trustworthy definitely is important. I'm just talking about the other parameters. This is definitely the
If
most
you just
important
go by
parameter.
trustworthy alone,
Mhm.
then Alia Bhatt and
Alia
Deepika
Bhatt.
Padukone are the most.
Deepika Padukone. Yes. These two are the most trustworthy. Yes.
Also, Aishwarya Rai is question actually.
Yeah, they're closer to 90, so you can probably take them. All others are lesser.
All others are lesser.
See, you were asking why glamorous is lower for all of them, low for all of them. You look at smart, most of them get above 85. Look at charming, most of them get good scores.
Okay.
So, perhaps it's also that they don't want to, the audience doesn't want to associate them with glamorous.
Okay.
So what we can do is with these numbers, we can work out ranks, we can work out an index by which we say on awareness, they have got a certain score. On recognition, photo recognition, they've got a certain score. On association on desirable parameters, they've got a score, and we can derive a composite score for each of these celebrities.
Professor, you mentioned about it depends on what the brand is looking for. Some years ago, there's a brand of pen called Mont Blanc.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
Yes.
1 lakh kind of price for a pen.
Mm.
They have brought out not an ad. They have a range of pens, which they named after Mahatma Gandhi.
Okay.
I felt that it was inappropriate. I also felt it was disrespectful, but that's that apart. Inappropriate from a marketing sense because Mahatma Gandhi stood for austerity in his life. He never wore rich clothes just extremely simple.
Simple and austere, yeah.
Yeah. But Mont Blanc is all about luxury.
Right.
Is there really a match between these two brand images? Will it help the brand?
It probably doesn't have a. See, from your point of view, yes, these two have got totally different. They've got totally different. They're from different worlds, right? Like I mentioned,
yes.
One is simple and austere, the other one is very flamboyant and something which is very expensive.
Yes.
What they could perhaps have thought of, trying to convey a message of some other, some other characters, some other qualities to rub off on their brand. Some of the qualities of Mahatma Gandhi to rub off on their brand.
Okay.
But yes, the most fundamental of them is something. There's a lot of mismatch between what he stands for and what this brand stands for.
I have a couple of other questions. A lot of people I've spoken to have noticed that this brand called Cred
Yes.
Uses Rahul Dravid.
Yes.
Is it because Rahul Dravid is famous? Or is it because they've used him in a very different way? I mean, he's normally polite and well behaved, but in the ad he's shown as very aggressive and foul.
I think what they've done in that campaign was that they were new to the market. The category was new to the market because you pay your credit card bills through an app was not something that we all were used to as consumers when credit came to the market, and they wanted a campaign which would immediately click, immediately be noticed, and so when you have Rahul Dravid as an ambassador, people are going to notice him. He's not going to go unnoticed. And especially when you're going to use him as a person who loses his temper, that's not something he's known for. People take the trouble to find out what exactly is happening here. What are they trying to show?
Okay. So it is both.
It is both. So they want to cut through the clutter and two, they have used him in such a fashion that
Okay.
it helps their brand.
One more question. I remember the brand of steel using a Commonwealth weightlifting champion
Okay.
as a brand ambassador.
Okay.
I was a little surprised because not many people in India follow weightlifting. Not many people follow the Commonwealth Games, I would imagine. And this person who was the champion, he may have been a gold or a silver medalist. I don't think he was very well known.
Okay.
So they had to introduce him saying, this is so and so. He is the Commonwealth weightlifting champion.
Right.
Having introduced him, yes, he stands for strength and steel stands for strength. Therefore, the message is okay. But does it help to have a celebrity whom you need to introduce?
See, again, it is a fine balance between what your marketing budgets are, how much you can spend on a celebrity. Okay. So if you have the budgets to hire an Amitabh Bachchan, you would do that. You have the spends to hire someone else whom you can use to convey the message of strength and durable and keeping your house intact for many years to come. Maybe you would do that, but if your budgets are in such a fashion that you can only hire, this person has been a champion. It's not that this person is not a celebrity. I'm not saying that at all, right? But there are some celebrities who are not so well known as some others, right? Not so prominent because of the industry they are in, because of the geographies that they are in. Probably people would not have heard of them. So in which case you need to sort of introduce saying, okay, this is the person who is associated with my brand. I think it happens the way the rub off of one person's equity on the other on the brand and vice versa happens side by side.
Can you tell us about any ad which you think has used a celebrity very well? I mean, you just said Crate has used it well, apart from that. What do you think about the lakhs ads? They've always had a film star. Yeah. Is that a good practice? They've been doing that for 40, 50 years, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something apart from what we have seen in Lux and those kind of skincare ads, because for them to establish that they are meant for good skin, glowy skin, radiant skin, it is easier for them to use a celebrity, right? So Kareena Kapoor is there, and Aishwarya Rai is there. They endorse celebrities who have recently become Miss Universes, who have recently become Miss Worlds, and so on and so forth. So it's easier for them to establish the fact that we stand for beauty and that person is associated with us. So why don't you look at my brand? Thanks. I'm trying to think of some other example, if I can give you some other example of how well they have used a celebrity. There's a Pepsi ad with Saurav Ganguly. I don't know if the class has watched that campaign. It must have come when they were in school days or even when they were much younger. So what happens is Saurav goes out of the Indian team, and he comes back and he talks about he asks, have you all forgotten me? Have you all forgotten your dada? Right? They're beautifully capturing the feeling of what that celebrity is actually really going through in life, and trying to associate their brand with that kind of a person. Right? So they used that.
Yes, I remember he says, "Bhul ke apne dada ko." I remember this highlight. I thought it was very powerful too, because I think Ganguly has a strong bond with Indians of that generation.
Yes.
He was a captain, we all admired. So, okay. Yes, please. Okay. So that ad was very effective in your opinion.
Yeah. Is there any other ad that you remember?
No, not really. Not really.
Okay, so shall we then close this session here? Any other questions?
Shall I?
Yeah. Thank you.